guys, so today I'm going to go through some of the essential items I think you need when you have a newborn baby. Rory's 8 weeks old next week, so I've had quite a few weeks of getting to know what I need and what I don't need, and these are a few of the items that I think you'll really want if you're just about to have a baby. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to go through is some of the things we use for bath time. So for bath time we have this Tommy Tippy bath thermometer, which we use every day. Obviously it tells you the temperature, and it's really important to have the temperature right for your baby when they go in the bath. That one, it also flashes if it goes too hot, so if your temperature is too hot it will flash at you, so you know to cool it down before you let the baby into the bath. And the other thing we use all of the time is this Angel Care bath seat. So this bit is like silicone, so the baby sits on this with their legs either side of this bit, and it's much easier if you're by yourself to be able to bath them. You don't need an extra person to hold them while you bath them, or try and hold them with one hand and bath them with the other. We use this every other day when I'm not in the bath with him, and it works perfectly. So after bath time, we usually do bath time in the evenings, and then we have his little routine for bed. So we use quite a few things for his routine, which is really important to start using as early as you can, so they start to understand the day and night time. So if they have a routine before bed, they start to recognise that that means it's night time and they're going to sleep for the night, which is obviously what you want if you're a mum. Trust me, you want as much sleep as you can get. So the first thing we do is obviously we bath him, then he comes in here and has his lotion and things put on, and then he comes into the bedroom and we read him a book. So we have loads of books that we read him. These are just a few of them. This one's one of our favourites because this is something my mum used to love reading with me, is Peter Rabbit books. And we also have the Gruffalo books because everybody knows it. Gruffalo books are the best. So we read him a book, and then he gets into his Love to Dream swaddle. So we have a Love to Dream swaddle, but any swaddle probably is fine. For Rory, he particularly likes to sleep with his hands up here, which obviously the Love to Dream swaddle facilitates. It's perfect for that. But if your baby likes to be tightly swaddled, then get a swaddle blanket instead, or a merino swaddle or something along those lines, which is for their arms being down. But I'd say that is an essential for helping them to sleep at night, because what you'll realise is with their startle reflex, a lot of times they'll wake up even if you don't realise it. They're quite jumpy anyway. Babies are just jumpy, they jump at the littlest of noises. So having a swaddle sort of settles them down and doesn't make that movement so dramatic, and they'll sleep a lot better throughout the night. And the other thing we have for nighttime is Ollie the owl. So this is our Ollie the owl. He has loads of different settings, so if you can hear, so he does a heartbeat, a rainfall, white noise, which is what we use. Then he also has lullabies on this side. And they have 3 different volume settings as well, so you can turn them down, which is really helpful. So we use the white noise setting for Rory, but obviously that gives you the option to use whichever preference your baby has. I know a lot of babies, if you use it straight away, will like the heartbeat one because it sounds like they're still in your womb, which settles them down a lot, especially with being swaddled. They like both of those together quite often, but we use the white noise one. You can get other ones similar to this. I know there's the You and the Dream Sheep, or you can just get white noise machines that do the same thing. This one also is a night light, so I don't know if you can see it because it's light in here, but you can see his tummy here glows, which is helpful for if you feed in the night. So I'm breastfeeding, which means it's really helpful for me to use the light just so I can see him. But that light, it's red and it's not super bright, so in the night we also have a night light. So we have a night light just beside the bed, which we leave on all night. It has loads of different settings. It was only a couple of pounds, so it's really cheap, and we have that on, so when I get up with him in the night I can just see. It's super like dim, so it's not too light to be, you feel like you're in daylight. He doesn't recognise it as daylight. Robin still sleeps through, and it makes it just a lot easier to see what I'm doing when I'm trying to breastfeed him in the middle of the night. And then the other thing we've only recently started using for nighttime is we have a monitor. So we have a baby monitor just like this, which we've started using just because Rory's now starting to go to bed before us. So we're trying to put him to bed about an hour before us now, so he gets used to that not being next to us when he starts to go to bed earlier and earlier. So we have this. It's got a little handheld monitor which we use, and the camera's in the bedroom obviously on the side of the cot. So when you turn it on, it has a little stand so you can stand it up, which is what we do when we're downstairs, so we stand it up. It plays lullabies to him if you want it to. It also has a two-way speaking system, so I can speak to him through it if I want to, and I can hear him through it, so if he's crying I can go straight up to him. It has the video so I can see him, and it has different volume settings, so if you're in somewhere that's a bit louder, so say you've got the tumble dryer on or something, you're in the kitchen cooking and it's quite loud, you can turn the volume up on this and it's really loud, so you can hear it if you're too far away from the baby that you can't hear the baby when you're downstairs. So it's really helpful. It takes a few minutes to come on and connect, but then the screen's really clear as well, so you can see everything that you need to when you're using it, and this has been really helpful to give me peace of mind when putting to bed a little bit before us, because I like to see him and know what he's doing obviously, so that's been really helpful. Okay, now for feeding. Obviously I'm breastfeeding, so it's slightly different to what most people would need, but so obviously I still use bottles. So for me personally, I pump once or one bottle a day so that Robin can feed him in the morning. So Robin goes to work at 7 o'clock in the morning, so he's up around 6 AM, which is a perfect time for Rory to be fed and then put back to bed, so he sleeps in until about 9 now. So I pump every day, so I would say an essential item for me has been a pump. I had the Tommy Tippy manual pump to start with, and then just recently I've now got a double electric pump. So this is the pump that I now have. And then with this one, I would say the only other thing you do need with that is a breast pump bra, so to hold the pump on while you're moving around, especially if you pump when the baby's there, which I do. If the baby starts fussing and you're trying to use a double pump, it's really difficult because they don't stay on. You can't hold them and hold a baby, so I'd say get the bra to go with it. But that's been amazing. Obviously you just put it on the setting that works best for you. That one has 4 different modes and then at least 6 levels on each mode, so if you let out milk a lot easier, you can use the lower modes, or if it's a bit difficult you can use the higher modes, or if you want it to come quicker, obviously you use the higher modes. And that's made it much easier for me to get out milk, so I can get out a bottle in less than 10 minutes now, which makes a massive difference in the mornings when I'm doing it, and saves my hands from aching from doing it with a manual pump, which was fine if that's all you've got, but I wouldn't, if you're gonna do it every day, I would recommend getting an electric one for sure. And obviously make sure you've got bottles compatible with whichever pump you're getting. And then with that sort of same category is muslins. If you can, get so many muslins. We honestly go through about 3 a day. You can use it for anything. If he dribbles, if he spits up, if he pees. I have these all over the house. Literally in every room there's a muzzy somewhere hidden around. Because especially when they're a newborn, bibs come in one size. So for him, he's really tiny around here. So if he does throw up, it doesn't catch it because it dribbles down behind it, because he's got a big gap here where it doesn't fit him yet. So these are really good to have around so you can keep hold of them. We use it sort of to burp him as a burp cloth. You can hold it under his chin so he doesn't get sick everywhere. You can throw it over your shoulder. They're just amazing to have all over the house, and we have probably at least 20, and we could do with more honestly, because you just run out of them so often, and obviously you're washing all the time and you just can't keep up sometimes, so we could do with more of these. You'll never have enough, I swear. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to a going out category, so taking the baby outside. Obviously this is still quite new for me because I had a cesarean. I wasn't allowed to drive and things before, so I've only been driving for around a week and a half now, which is long enough to get used to it, trust me. It's so quick to get used to how to carry the car seat and put them in the car, take them out of the car, what put them on when you're going out, all of those sorts of things. So the first thing I actually used before I could drive was a baby carrier. So initially I had a baby sort of wrap, which is really good for when they're a teeny tiny newborn, because of their head being so, and they don't move often, they normally fall asleep, so you can tuck their little head into the wrap, and that's really good. But it is a bit fiddly, so you have to wrap yourself in it, and if you're by yourself in the daytime, you have to find a good time to put the baby down where they're settled to put the wrap on before you can get them into it. So not long ago we actually bought an Ergo baby, so I've got this Ergo baby, which is amazing. It's so easy to put on. You can do it by yourself as long as you're a little bit flexible. You just pop these on around here. It's got a little clip at the back, so you just grab the clips. This is why you need to be a bit flexible. Just grab the clips and clip them on, and here it go. And then it's got this bit at the bottom here, which I'll show you, which you just wrap around, and then it's got another clip here which you just spin around and clip on at the back, and then that's it. That's all you have to do. So it's super easy to do, and both me and Robin will actually use this. So he is more comfortable using this than the wrap, because the wrap obviously is quite tight and hard to put on, and this is much easier for him to carry him in. And with these, what they come with is they come with, well, you have to get them, but they come with a newborn insert. So this is the newborn insert, which is like a hard cushion for them, so when they're not very long they can sit in this section and still be nice and high, and it comes with an extra bit of padding here to keep their head, so their head's not flopping around when they don't have too much head control. And this one's really good. So this is the Ergo Baby 360, which means we can carry him forward facing, backwards facing, and you can carry them on the side and on your back. So it's got all of the options, so you don't really have to buy a new one ever, because that one will work perfectly for us for as long as we need it. And then the other thing you need if you're going out is a good changing bag. So for us, we have this changing bag. It's a Babble-Roo, I believe. See if I can... There you go. So this one is, honestly, it's really good. So it's got the clip, so you can clip it onto the pram on the back here, which is super helpful. And it's just got so many pockets, honestly. It's got loads and loads of pockets, so you've got a section for everything you need. It's got a little hidden pocket in the back here as well, so this bit at the back opens up, so if you've got anything valuable you can put it in there, and then no one can really get to it because it's on your back. It's got side pockets, it's got a pocket at the front which you can put the drinks in. It's got a pocket for nappies, and it's got lots of these little hidden pockets as well. So like here, for example, there's a little pocket here at the front which is tiny. It's got a pocket right at the front there where the zip is, so you can put your phone or your something like that in there. It's got another upwards one here, and then you've obviously got your big main one which you put your clothes and your changing bag and things like that in as well. So this is really, really good because you can carry everything you need, and especially for those first few weeks, if you're not sure what to take, you can just sort of take everything, which we were lucky. We didn't really have to go out. Obviously we're in lockdown and things like that, so you can't go many places. But now I've started going out a little bit more, just like we've got to go to lots of appointments and things like that. It's really helpful to have this and be able to carry everything you need in it. And then there's a few things we just have around the house which are actually really helpful for with the baby. So we have the swing downstairs. We have it's a Joy swing. There's plenty of swings you can get. This one which is quite affordable for us with the money that we'd got from people for a bit like baby gifts. So we thought that would be a perfect thing to spend it on. So we've got the Joy swing, which goes both ways, so it can swing like sideways, so he's facing sideways, or it can swing him forward and backwards as well. So we've got on forward backwards at the minute because that just is what he prefers, but obviously that's down to your baby's preference. But for us it means I can sit hands-free, and recently he really likes it because of the immobile. So he's now started to recognise things like the colours and the patterns and things like that. So he started to look at them and want to hit them. He can't quite hit them yet, obviously, but he started to move his hands towards them, and he'll sit in it and just stare at them, which is really good for his development. And it gives me 5 minutes if I want to make myself a cup of tea or I want to look around or things. It's really good to have somewhere in the front room where I'm staying most of the time in the day to pop him down and not feel worried about it. It's got the harness bit so you can clip them in and make sure they're safe, especially, which will be really handy when he starts to wriggle. He's not too wriggly now, obviously, but when they start to learn to roll and things, that is super important to have it on so they don't try and roll out of the swing. But I'd say if you can have something similar to that, it doesn't have to be that, but a bouncer chair, a rocker, anything you can pop them in to have your hands free for a couple of minutes while they're settled is really, really helpful. And then the other thing we have, which we usually attach to the swing at the minute, is contrast toys. So for him, this is his current favourite. This is a little zebra, so obviously it's black and white contrast, and then it's got this bit on it as well, which is black and white polka dots, which he really likes, and it makes a noise. So if we pop it on the swing, if it's when the swing swings, it does this, so it makes a noise and it's contrasting, so he stares at that all day long. He's recently started to try and put it in his mouth, because obviously that's what babies do when they feel new touches and things. They'll try and put it in their mouth to understand it and feel it, because that's the most sensitive spot. We have contrast cards and things as well, which he'll look at, but obviously this is much better because he can touch it, he can feel it, it's got different textures. There's this on the back, his little mohawk and tail is felt, and then this is obviously a teddy, and then this bit is just like, I don't really know what that is, but it's there, and he can hit it and it makes a noise, so it sort of helps him with understanding his hand-eye coordination as well, which is really good for this age when they start to recognise that their hands are theirs and they can use it. So things like this are really good for when they're a baby, because black and white is sort of the only thing they can recognise. So until they can start seeing colour, this is all they can really see, and it's perfect for them. And then the last thing that we have downstairs in our house, which is super helpful for us, is we have a fold-up changing mat. So it almost looks like a bit of a purse, and it folds out and you can store everything you need in it. So we have a little box downstairs with all the sort of things that we use for Rory in it anyway, so it's got a couple of toys in it, it's got bibs, it's got muzzies, it's got a rattle, it's got all the sorts of things that we use in the day with him, and then that pops on top. So in there you can put, there's a zip pocket, so we put nappies in the zip pocket. There's a pocket that's specifically for wet wipes, so you can open the wet wipes without taking them out. And then there's another pocket which we put nappy bags in. So it's got everything in it that you need. You don't have to go hunting through a box or have 3 packs of different things out at the same time. We just pop it all in that, and then all you have to do is every so often sort of refill it with things when you run out. And once you get it out, you just like sort of flap it. It's got a velcro bit, unfolds perfectly. It's so easy to wipe down, it's so easy to put away. I mean, I put it away with my foot, so I just fold everything back in with my foot while I'm holding him, and then pick it up and pop it back in the box. It's amazing. So that's been all my essentials that I think you'll need for the first few weeks of life. Obviously I know there are other things you'll need, but these are the things that have really made a difference for me and Robin and for baby Rory. So I'd suggest getting these if you can. Make sure you have everything you need. If you've liked this, please like, subscribe to our channel. It's nearly Rory's 2 months, he's nearly 2 months, so hopefully we'll have a 2-month update video up soon, and we're going to go hunting around Cornwall for some beautiful places, so stay tuned for that, and we'll catch you in the next one.